I make a bag from this material and I have to make it a strap, but I have a very thin leather, this one, so I will align it because I want the good thickness. This means I will spread glue and I will glue the parts, I will cut them, and after that I will stitch everything, because if you do that you have to stitch. I will spread the glue with a brush as usual. I will use this because it is taller. I will use a weight, it will help me, and I will, like this. You see, I don't spread glue on the table, only on the piece of leather. Here is the edge. I like to use a bottle, but I also have glue in a jar, and I will spread it like this. And so on. I will turn this and I will spread the glue on the other side. I have glue everywhere. The glue is also dried, and now I will show you a trick. I will use a ruler to make a straight line. We work with leather, so the leather will position as it wants. And because the glue is almost dried, I can do this, and it will be easier for me to place it wherever I need it. So I will start here, and I will repeat the process because I didn't match the parts perfect. Now it is exactly as I wanted. You see? For sure it will be straight. My neighbor will go outside with the dog, with Bruno. And now we will press the parts. To press it good is as important as using a very good glue. If you use a very good glue and you don't press it good, it won't be strong enough. This is a silicone from IKEA. It is translucent, so it is very good for me. Now we will trim this. I will show you another trick. When you will make long cuts, if you want to ensure that nothing moves, place the ruler, use a weight, a heavy weight, like this one, and then you can cut easier, because the ruler won't move. this is the first line of cutting, and now because we need 2 centimeters, I have this piece of metal. It has exactly 2 centimeters, and I will cut using it. It's easy to make a perfect cutting. You see, I will glide it. I am careful. Many of you use that special knife, but I don't like it, and I'm used to this method of doing things. Now it is ready. Let's see how good it is trimmed, cut, or whatever. You already see that everything is at the same thickness. Okay, now I will use it as a normal leather. The straps are lined and trimmed. I will make the front of the one of the straps, and I will use edge paint to paint the edges. Of course, I use as usual unitaires, but there are a lot of good edge paint. Fenice, Kenda Farben. Girba or Girba, I don't know the name. But buy a good edge paint. You see, I use a brush, but I can also use a nail file. For some leathers I prefer the brush, for others I prefer the file. I also have a plastic spreader, good for different kind of leather. I always make a lot of experiments. For this leather the brush is perfect. It's the best option. And so on. I don't have to show it anymore. I will show you how I make all the straps. I don't use a pattern for it, and I have this 2 centimeters tool. I marked. I make 2 holes like this, and now I will use this. So it will bend. I use this skiving knife. I like this thinner in this part. If the leather is very thick, I will help it to bend wherever I want, like this. You see, now it bends easier, and it is almost the same resistance. Then we will have to make the keeper. You see, I always cut it bigger than needed. Then I will trim probably bigger than needed. And now I will check. This time it was perfect for the first cut, but if it isn't bigger, if it is bigger, I will correct it. I will make a few cuts until it is perfect. Here it will be the D-ring, it will bend here. So again, skive, you see? And a bending place like this. It will bend here perfectly. I will scratch a little because I will use glue here too. But first I will make the holes in the keeper. And I will stitch the keeper. Let's place the buckle and the D-rings. I made the keeper. This is the buckle. D-ring. Here too. I want a better bond between the parts, so I use a bond folder. I will make signs. I will stitch everything because this time I have a lined strap, so I need to make all the holes. And so on. I will make the holes like this. As always. You can mark the signs, but the most important thing is to keep the distance between the holes and this edge. Now we will make this pocket like a coin pocket. We have the gusset for it, and this part will be stitched like this, and this part will be stitched under like this. So I will bend it like this. Take care, don't hit your fingers, and stitch it. I hope it was in sight. As usual, reinforced first step. Please, please, please help me. Where is that magnet? It will help a lot as usual. Oh. It is inside, and you can see better how I will make this stitching. and so on. These stitchings are already done. Now I will make these stitchings. Because I bent this gusset, I will make this stitching a little easier then. So, first step, reinforced, okay. Now, here, and stitching as usual. We will have 3 stitching lines close to each other, and it will look really good because of this. And it will be the 4th line of stitching when I will stitch the gusset for the bag. We will see each other when I will stitch this and this. Finishing this special pocket. Last 2 steps. This pocket will be placed here, and I will make a stitching, and it will be covered like this. Wow, such a nice thing to see. I will use edge paint to paint this edge. I'll spread it with a brush. I have some absorbent paper, I don't know the name. Tissue? No. I don't know. This. And this.
O să vreau și eu bolți.
I will leave this to dry, and in the meantime I will stitch this on the gusset like this. Magnetic pony stitch. Match the holes like this and stitch. I forgot to stitch the D-rings on the gusset, but I will do this later. When I will finish the bag, it will be the last thing I'll do, I guess. I don't like to have D-rings and pieces of leather when I stitch, because the thread grabs everything and it's easier for me to stitch with the hand inside when the object is ready. and so on. I will stitch this and of course this, and we will see each other after that. Let's finish the, I don't know the name of this part, the gusset. And now I will glue the pocket, and then I will make all the holes, and then I will stitch the gusset. I glued it and I will make the holes, but you have the holes on the pattern, so you don't have to do what I do. Usually I will attach the round punch on my finger and I will make the holes like this. Nice pocket, really nice pocket. I want to see if my phone goes inside. Like this, so it is very good. I will stitch the pocket. The magnetic pony stitch helps a lot, but my cat Sushu wants to play fetch. I will make all this stitching and then I will make this stitching. Oh, like this, and we'll make this stitching, and I will come and make the final stitching. Not quite the final stitching, because I will have to stitch the closure system. I'm not sure how I want to close this bag yet. As usual, I don't have a final pattern, but you will have that pattern, and so on. As I said, I stitched the pocket. I also stitched this gusset, and now I will stitch this gusset. I don't know where to start. I will start here. First with a step that will be doubled. I will help myself using this to keep things in place. Is this correct? No, this is. And now I will make all this stitching. You don't see, but one of my cats is on my working bench. But there are signs that I have a cat on my table. This hair here. I burn this hair. I have a special burner for this. I have this burner. You see, you burn the hair. In a second it smells a little, but this is how it is. I will stop stitching because it became boring. And I will stitch everything, this gusset, and then we will see how we will continue. I'm not sure I know how I want to close this bag, but you will find it on the pattern. I called the cat. You see? Beautiful colors. She's Mochi, the fat one. I will finish this stitching. Reinforce last two steps. I will stitch the cover, I guess, I'm not sure. I made this bag with this type of gusset. I will make another one using exactly the same pattern. Maybe I will modify a little, probably the flap, only the flap. Okay, it will be like this. I will place a magnet here, and here I will place a Sam Browne stud. But first I will stitch the D-rings. You can stitch them in the beginning, not now. I will stitch them now. I prefer to stitch them now because it's easier for me to stitch them now than to stitch this and have this here. Now I will stitch the D-rings. Now it's time to close this bag with a magnet, but first let's see at my cat. So, the magnet will be in this place. It will be covered, so I will mark the signs. It will be covered with this. Now I will place this. Please stay as I want, like this. I will trim this. Now the magnet itself, not you, sir, you, but you, like this. Like this. Now I will scratch. You already know that. Here too, I will scratch here too. on the back. Here too. Let it dry. It will help. Let's use these marks. It will help. Let's see how it will be. It will be like this. I like it a lot. Now I will make the holes. I have the marks, but they are not really necessary. I will make the holes down the flap. I will show you a trick how I place a magnet. Place it like this, but I want to be sure that they will coincide. So first I will place a drop of water, then I will close it as symmetrical as I can. I have the water mark. I punch it, then I will scratch it. I want to cut there. I have this plastic. I will use my trusty Olfa cutter. Now the magnet. I will guard it with this. I'm sorry, I don't see how I do, so I have to hide for a moment. Now it is like this. And now it closes, but not exactly as I want. So, what shall I do? I will make a hole for a Sam Browne stud. Here. I will close the bag using the magnet. Now I will mark here the sign, and here I will place the Sam Browne stud. I use a smaller round punch like this. I will place the Sam Browne stud. Okay. This hole is too small. We don't use this Sam Browne to close the bag. The magnet will close the bag. The Sam Browne is used to center the magnet. You see? Now it stays perfectly. I think I made the hole a little bigger than needed, but no problem. So close, stays perfect. I will come with a bigger Sam Browne. I will close it again with the proper Sam Browne stud. You see? It stays like this. It is closed with the magnet, and this one only helps us to place the magnet in the right position, and looks good, and people will think that this is the closure. Now let's finish this bag. I already stitched the keeper and this. I already showed you how I lined it. and I will finish it like this. Match the holes and start stitching. You can glue the parts, but I don't think it is necessary because we can keep them in place easy. The thread will do this. So if you have a thick enough leather and your strap is a single piece and you don't line it, you will make only this stitching. But if you do as I do, lined leather, you will stitch it. You can stitch it with a sewing machine, then place fasteners and so on. The last 6-7 steps. I will make another one, green with mahogany, I guess, without this strap on the gusset. I will make it with a single gusset and that's all. So it will have a bigger volume, but you will stitch it harder. But you won't make too long stitchings. But you will have to stitch with the hand inside. Cat hair. Here is the culprit. Sushu, help me to present the bag. Please, stay here, Sushu. This is the bag. Sushu is presenting you the bag. As I told you, I will make another bag. I will close it with buckles and a strap. I didn't make the strap yet. It will be closed with buckle and LOXX closure, and it won't have this strip. It will be stitched directly like this, directly, and we will see after at the end the differences. So I will close it with buckle, not like that one. So I will stitch the buckle on this pocket. I used some edge paint. It dries hard because it's cold and humid here, but there is no problem. So like this. I will glue this here and it will be closed with, it will be a strap here. Nothing special. So before gluing this on the face of the bag, I will stitch this buckle. I really like this combination, two types of green. Red edge paint, and this orange, I guess, I don't know how to name this color. Thread, everything matches almost perfect, and I really like it. I use expired edge paint, and I have to let it dry a long time. And so on. I only wanted to show you that I stitch this buckle before gluing the face. I made these holes. I have the bag and the gasset, so I will make this stitching. I will make this stitching by myself, and I will come to show you the last stitching. And after that I will finish the bag exactly as I finished the other one. I will make for it a strap, and that's all. As I said, I stitched this and I came to stitch the other part here now. So I will glue it firmly with the magnet, and now I will start to stitch. Okay. I will help myself with this blunt awl. Whether it will be here or here. It will be here. The two threads are equal, so I will start to stitch. Now it's easy to stitch everything. This is how I started. I will stop now and I will show how I make the curve here. We reached this point. The stitching is a little difficult, but we can also see our hand and stitch it like this. See, I have to push a little. But it is doable, of course. The leather is a little stiffer than I like. You don't only need extra care, but it is really doable. And after that we will compare the results. I prefer harder stitching and gain some extra volume than two lighter stitchings, but that stitching gives shape, a special shape. That stitching doesn't force the material like this one. You see? It's easy. It only takes time and extra attention. That piece of steel and that magnet keeps things in place and helps me to see what I do. Okay. Now you understand everything is the same, nothing special, just attention. Now is the part with the hand inside, but we crossed the heavy section with the curve, the bottom of the bag, so this is easier for me. I don't need to see my left hand. My left hand knows what to do by itself. Here it is, my finger with the needle. You see the needle? Now I go through these two holes, and my left hand knows how to find the place. It is a smart hand. We will see each other when it will be ready. Last two steps. Like this. Reinforce the last step. This is the bag. I will close it with this and a LOXX closure. But first I will stitch this. What a short strap it have. I stitched the strap. Let's place the LOXX closure, my favorite closure of all other. I had to buy another LOXX key because the original one bended so hard. And of course you need a good key. Now let's see how it works. Oh. What a jewel. I still have to place the D-rings here and it will be ready. I used that LOXX key, and now it stays perfect. As you see, I can do everything I want. It opens easy, like this. It closes easy, like this. I think this bag looks like a jewel. Let's compare it with the original one. We have the pattern for both of them. First thing we see is that the color for this looks nicer. This is a very standard bag. It has a magnet here. This magnet keeps the bag close, but this stud helps us to place the magnet in the right position. You see, you can't miss. It always closes as we want. Magnets doesn't work very good usually. You have to be careful to match the parts. But in this case we do it. And now I will make the D-rings for this bag and the strap. You already saw how I did it. So this ends the film